have a flurry of goals in the second period. Just what did you guys see that was working for you in the first period and that allowed you to execute in the second?
I mean, early on, we had a lot of really good pressure. We were just playing very tight. With their speed and skill, we had to be above them. We did a really good job at reloading. D were very quick at closing when pucks were coming around the wall, and they were transitioning very well. So they weren't able to get a whole lot going. They did get a couple breakaways early, obviously, and Bob closed the door. And after that, we were able to tighten it back up a bit and do the job defensively. That's where that team is extremely dangerous. They create breakaways and 2-on-1s and odd-man rushes out of nothing plays. And, we got caught a couple times early. Bob backed us up. And then after that, we just did a great job at being above them and just kind of forcing everything up the wall and then allowed us to transition. So we executed well.
Seth, obviously your goal huge to break it open there. Just what did that moment feel like, and just how nice was that for the team after such a tight first period to finally get that first goal?
Yeah, it felt good. I don't even know who's on the wall still. I haven't seen it, but it was a great little inside play. I was just trying to join the rush, be aggressive, and try to find an opening and put a puck to the net. It was a tight game, but trying to make a difference, offensively or defensively when I can.
Brad, it almost seems like you've become the Maple Leafs executioner with two different teams multiple times. Do you kind of think about it that way?
Well, I appreciate that, but that no, I don't look at it that way. I think if you look at the past, I haven't played well in Game 7s against Toronto. So I mean, no one player wins any. I just happen to be part of good teams that have had the upper hand. But if you actually historically look at the games, I didn't play well. It wasn't me that beat them. It was our team, and our teams have always been really deep and good. And I was fortunate enough to be a part of a really, really deep team here right now. So no, I don't look at it that way. Just sometimes that's how the dominoes fall. And in those games we get a couple good bounces, and they were on the bad end of that. I think if you look at the heat this team catches, it's actually really unfortunate. They've been working at building something really big here for a while, and they were a different brand of hockey this year, and they're getting crucified, and I don't think it's justified. Just because they aren't able to do it. I mean, we're a really good deep team too, and that's how things go sometimes. So I don't look at it that way. It's just how things go sometimes.
Brad, often when a player has spent his entire career with a team and gets dealt right at the deadline, on deadline day in your case, it can be difficult, the adjustment and finding your stride and fitting in. It doesn't seem like it was for you. Why is that? And then how do you feel now?
It was difficult when I first got here, just because I wasn't playing. We had a ton of games, and I wasn't skating with the team at all. So I wasn't around the group as much as you need to be to really transition into the system and into the team and the dynamics of everything. So I felt it was a little bit tough the first few weeks, but once I got playing, then I mean the guys are awesome. The group is incredible. We have such a fun group and very easy to adapt off the ice and in the room. It was more just the on-ice stuff because I wasn't out there with the guys. And then, once everybody got back and we actually saw what the lines were going to be, because that was the other part of it. The last 10 games, half our lineup wasn't in the lineup, so it was tough to really see who was going to be with who. But, yeah, I mean, after that, after I got back to the group, it was a very easy transition, and I felt very comfortable. The guys are, they're just there to help every day. And when you have a veteran group and guys that have been through big moments before, everyone just goes about their business. It's very easy to kind of fall into place and just do your role. And so it's a special group. I'm sure Jonesy feels the same way about coming in. He transitioned very well as well. So it's a special group to be a part of.
Brad, Craig Berube was just in here saying one of the main differences was between the ears, a mindset. Was there a point in this game where you guys felt you had the mental edge? And what's the difference between closing a team out mentally and maybe not rising to that occasion?
I think it's easy to have to go into games and have different mindsets. I don't know what their mindset was. I can't speak to that, but I know that our mindset, we have a ton of belief in the system that we play and the depth of our group and the experience in these moments. Going through it before, obviously you talk about it, but it's invaluable experience when you go through moments like this and you've been through these moments before and a lot of guys in the team have won cups, and when you win a cup and you play in some of the games that this team played in last year, like these are not high pressure games. When you're playing for an actual cup and you give up a 3-game lead and then you're in game 7, like that's a high pressure game, right? So, in game 7, the second round, yeah, it's a high pressure game, but it's not compared to some other games that guys have played. So when you actually look at that, and then when you see the pressure that Toronto faces and everyone's talking about whatever the 20, 30-year build-up, I don't even know what it is, but you see the fans and the way they're talking, like they just beat the pressure into this team. And it's got to be tough on those guys to walk to the rink every day and not feel that, because you see the way the fans treat them at the end. Like, how do you not feel that every single day? And when you go through big games, like you realize which are actually big games and which are just, big moments.
Seth, to sort of build off of what Brad was just saying there, just after watching this Panthers team from a distance, seeing what they've done the last few years, what's it like to be part of this group where, like I said, the resiliency is there and it seems like nothing phases them? What's it like to be part of that, and what have you learned about this team since you got here a couple months ago?
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot better to be on this side of it than the other side. My whole career, and just when I came in, the transition was quite different, just because it's a completely new system. And the coaches did a lot of video with me the first few weeks here. There was a lot of mistakes made. I wasn't used to being super aggressive with gaps and, that 5-man unit forecheck that we play over the ice and the man-to-man action. So that was definitely an adjustment. But like Marshy said, I'll piggyback off that. The way that the guys handle themselves every single day, every single practice day, you can feel the drive. I think it's one of the main things that surprised me was it's easy to be complacent, especially after they won a cup, and I wasn't sure how that was going to feel. But coming in, you can just feel the drive to win another one and just be better every single day. And that's individually each guy, all the way from our best players to our first liners to our fourth liners. Every guy wants to get better and learn and play for one another. So it's awesome to be a part of. The last few months have been kind of a whirlwind, clearly for me, and I just wanted to come in and play my game and play meaningful games. And I'm happy that this organization has, believed in me to do that and playing with some great players.
Brad, you guys were down 2 games, 2 goals in game 3 twice, then to overtime. Big picture, how did this series turn around in your favor?
Honestly, it turned around because we started playing the way we could. We didn't play well in the first 2 games. They were ready for us, and I think maybe we might have taken it a little bit for granted, or maybe thought it might be a little easier. But whatever the reason was, we were not playing in the first 2 games. Even to start the third, we didn't play the way that we needed to have success against this group. And they came out extremely hard. They pushed, much harder than I've seen them push before. Then when we actually started getting back to the system and the way this team has played for a long time, we started to feel more confident in what we were doing and how we had to play to have success. And we just started playing that brand of hockey. And when we do that, we give ourselves an opportunity to be in the game most nights. So I think it was really, we just got back to playing the aggressive, hard style that this team plays, and it's just it's a tough game to play against. And obviously we're a deep group, we have a lot of depth, and we were able to use that.
Brad, I realize what you said about the pressure that these guys face, but a couple of years ago, when you won MVP of the Hall of Fame game, you took the trophy and you lifted it over your head and you skated around the ice here.
Good memory.
You seem to take a lot of pleasure in torturing this fan base and this team. And I'm wondering if that's the case, if you take any more pleasure in beating these guys than you do anyone else.
You never you never take for granted winning. You know, winning is the most incredible feeling. And on any night, it's not easy to win in this league. But I think the thing about Toronto is their fans are very in your face, and they're in your face, right? So they're aggressive and they let you hear it all the time, and it's just fun to interact. You know, I think everybody that knows me, you guys have all seen, like I interact with a lot of fans, and I enjoy that part of it. Like we're out there, we're living a dream that a lot of us never thought would ever really become reality. And it's like, it's a job and it's tough and there's expectations and, you know, from the media, from the players, from the staff, the ownership, the fans. But, you know, there's moments that you need to enjoy. Like careers fly by, you know, and like I've been in it a long time and I've been very fortunate and it's almost over. Right. And like, I can't believe how fast it's gone by. I wish I was able to enjoy more moments and actually look back and take, take moments that I took for granted. I wish I could have over, but you don't get that opportunity. And that's one of them, you know, like I grew up a Leafs fan and I enjoy playing against the Leafs and I enjoy interacting with fans. Like it's fun. It's not something that I'll forever get to do. You know, and I don't take myself too seriously. Like I love getting made fun of. I love making fun of people. And if you can't take it, then so be it. But I can, so I'm going to enjoy the moments that I have. And that's one of them. You know, and when I come in here and I get booed and I get that award in the game, I'm gonna show it. And, you know, I'm going to enjoy that. So, it's just not about taking yourself too seriously in the game. Like, yes, we all want to win and we all want to chase a cup, but you don't always get to do that. So you got to enjoy the process and the steps and the days that you have throughout that journey.
Seth, this one's for you. When you got here, you talked about how much it meant to you to play in important games like this. I mean, for you personally, how much does it mean to not only get to the Eastern Conference Final now, but put up a pretty big performance there to help your team clinch a Game 7 there?
Yeah, I just wanted to play my game tonight and be a difference maker. You know, it's my first Game 7, and, you know, you have so many thoughts going into it. But the main thing that I was kept telling myself was just be excited to play. Just play your game. Don't, you know, hold your stick too tight. Don't think about the plays too much, and just go out there and trust your skills and trust your instincts. So I try to do that tonight. Obviously, you know, when I got here, this is the moments that I not only, you know, thought I'd be in, but I'd hoped I'd be in. And, you know, I have so many great players that are playing with me, and I can just go out and play hockey and not worry about too many other things. You know, my game starts defensively, and I take a lot of pride in that. And then, you know, when I feel the need to jump, I can do that as well. So I just want to try to open my game up in big moments. And, you know, I was luckily, you know, good enough tonight where that showed.
Thank you both for your time. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.